Hey everybody, how's it going? I don't know if this is going to be an audible video. I got the little dead cat thingy on top of my shotgun microphone. This little Rode shotgun. But it is a small dead cat thing, and this microphone was about $60, so I don't have the highest of expectations for it. Now, what I want to talk about today is the CBC News piece that came out about a year and a half ago. I guess a year ago. It was filmed a year and a half ago, and it came out a year ago. So most of you who watch the channel are probably familiar with it. The TLDR of it is that this person who works for CBC did not identify himself as working for CBC News, but went to an Apple store with a MacBook that had not been turning on. And at least the screen had not been turning on. And they said it's going to be $1,200 to replace the... Oh, that is some great driving right there. That is... So, I would expect better from South Carolina, but anyway. So, yeah, they said $1,200 to replace the logic board, which included the top case, the keyboard, battery, and all that, the I/O board, everything all in one piece, or $1,200 for the top case plus an additional $800 or so for the display assembly. Which houses the screen housing, the display cable, the Wi-Fi antenna, all that stuff, hinges. And this was on an A1398 2013 model with an 820-3787 board. At the time, that machine had a used market value of approximately $1,350, making that repair obviously not make economic sense. Then they brought it to me, and I pointed out that there was while the liquid damage stickers had changed colors, I gave them a tour around the board and the microscope for a good few minutes. That didn't make it into the video because I guess they were trying to shorten the piece. But I gave them a tour around the board and the microscope, and I said, do you see any water damage here? Do you see any corrosion here? Do you see any evidence that liquid was here? No. And then I proceeded to bend the pin 1, which commonly bends when people try to do it yourself screen replacements and screw it up because they don't know how to route the EDP cable. EDP here standing for embedded display port, not emotionally disturbed person. And that was it. It worked. Now, even a year after this piece, I still get regular comments saying this is a plant, you made this up, this is clearly biased. You purposely screwed it up and then did something else to it to make Apple look bad and blah, blah, blah. And this kind of aggravates me, but it aggravates me for a different reason than someone parking in the bike lane to deliver junk mail and, phony credit card applications. It bothers me because of the actual conversation that I remember having with Alex from CBC on the phone back in, I think, March or April of 2018. Anybody let me in? Fucking New York drivers. Park in the bike lane and don't let you in. And so the conversation I had, he was saying that they wanted to do a piece related to Apple and how they were bad with upgrades, how they were bad with updates, how they didn't offer something in this certain level of service or things in the store. And I didn't like it. In addition to the fact that I thought that piece was boring, I too thought this is a bit biased. And now, this is not an area where you really need bias because I believe that their service is so bad that you don't need to start with a narrative of I think it's bad in order to make your point. So I said, listen, scrap the idea you have about Apple being bad with updates, about Apple being bad with upgrades. How about you do this? Find a machine that doesn't work properly. Bring it to Apple and record what they say. And then bring it to me and then record what I say. And the story will write itself. That's what I told them. Throw away the narrative that you have. I politely said it, but throw away this narrative that Apple is bad with updates or bad with upgrades or bad with longevity or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact details of the conversation, but it just seemed like a piece where you're trying to make a specific narrative point. I just throw that away. What you're going to do is you're going to find a broken machine from a refurbisher, from Craigslist, from a friend that you know, something that's been sitting in a night table drawer because they broke it, whatever it is. You're going to take that machine You're going to bring it to Apple and then bring it to me. And just film the results. That's it. Just film what happens. And that's what they did. So it drives me nuts that people are consistently saying this piece is made up. They did some sort of trickery behind the scenes. Apple, this is biased and proper. When what I was advocating for, holy shit, there's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. Jesus Christ. So I'm going about 27 right now. 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, normal. But that guy, he just got why? I got a comment a while ago from somebody really shitting on me for going a few miles an hour over the speed limit. This is what happens when you go the speed limit. People dangerously and angrily run past you. But anyway, I learned my lesson. Let's just do what every other fucking driver in New York City does. Fuck the speed limit. Let's go 10 to 20 miles an hour over it, so I don't get hit by some fuckface trying to pass me in their SUV. But anyway, what drives me crazy about it is that what I was advocating for, and damn near kind of scolding the guy for, who is a reputable journalist, is to simply record what happens rather than come up with a narrative and then film, and then come up with a story that goes around it. And secondly, it's not like the story that he had is something that never happens. If they were just doing investigative journalism, even if it was totally unbiased and simply happened to record something that never ever happens, then I could get it. But what they recorded is what goes on when you go to the Genius Bar just about every day. This happens to tens of thousands of people across the country on a regular basis that go in for service. They get told essentially to replace the whole thing, and it is what it is. And if that's your business model, well, fine, whatever, but you do you. The only thing that bothers me with that business model is when they try to make it sound like there's no reason for, all these independent repairers, this stuff they advocate for is ridiculous. That there's not really a need in the market for this. Or, our Apple authorized service providers are doing the job just fine. Hell, I wouldn't even advocate for that with my own business. You're a person trying to pass me, you realize this is a school zone. I may race. I'll do my racing every now and then, but I try to avoid doing my racing in areas where there's school buses and kids crossing. This particular street over here, right here, I see a lot of kids cross. So I'll usually keep it to under 20 miles an hour. Of course, I always keep it to under 20 miles an hour with the motor. Only when I'm pedaling do I go over 20 miles an hour, because it's against the law to go over 20 miles an hour on your electric bike. However, I don't think there's a law against pedaling it. So anytime you see me going over 20 miles an hour, that's pedaling. Yeah, when they say, I don't see a need for it, and you see a recorded experience, that happens on a regular basis, all the time, around the country. Must be making it up. And I had that conversation on my personal phone, on my cell phone. So it's not something that I would be able to show you a recording of like I would with the conversations that I have on the work phone, where those are all recorded conversations. But every time I read this, it's just like, yeah, you colluded to make this shit up. It's like, no, I colluded to remove the shit story about them being, quote, bad with upgrades or updates, and ask them to make a story where they do what journalists do, which is actually record reality. Now, if reality is that bad, if reality sucks that much, and you don't like that reality sucks that much, I'm with you. Maybe we could work a little to make reality better. And what I also am curious about is what is it that these individuals have invested into Apple or into their mindset that it's impossible to imagine that they did something wrong, but not just that it actually emotionally hurts them when they hear something that cuts against their brand. I like Lenovo. I think Superfish was absolute shit. I used Samsung phones in the past. I think them removing a headphone jack after making fun of companies that remove headphone jacks is kinda lame. I don't understand why people feel the need to fully buy in to a brand. They're not your friend. They're not your cousin. Not your wife. It's a fucking brand. I guess I'm missing something. Over the bridge we go. Holy hell, you're wearing fishnet stockings and it's 30 degrees outside. That is a brave woman. A much more warm-blooded woman than I am. If I did that, I'd be an amputee right now. And especially in this wind. It hurts. Oh my God. Oh, this weather. This fucking weather. Started pedaling, yay. My bike goes squeak, squeak, squeak. Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah. Da-da-da. Da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da. Yeah. Oh boy, it's cold outside. Let's pedal a little. If I pedal on the highest gear, put some work into it, maybe the air going through my nose will warm up. Beep! I'm not saying you never jaywalk, I'm just saying if you do jaywalk, you should look both ways as you jaywalk. Anytime you break the law, it's very important to look both ways. It's the wind that makes this intolerable. Look at that Range Rover, shooting like a rocket to its red light. Changing lanes and going from. It's gotta be really sad to have one of these really expensive fast cars in New York City when you can't go more than 20 miles an hour 90% of the time. Shit, you're lucky if you're going fucking 15 miles an hour a lot of the time. Like seriously, I'm better positioned on a bike than most of these cars are. That Range Rover that keeps going from. That guy that's aggressively driving, trying to pass everybody in the road. I'm gonna catch up on him. Alright. It's easy to do my turn signals when my hands are unfrozen. Nice! Stop being cold for just a sec. Oh.